So Kanye went to the White House. I wonder if they tried to scare him into not wearing his hat.
You know, they tried to scare me to not wear this hat, my own friends. But this hat, it gives me power in a way. I love Hillary, I love everyone, right? But the campaign, I'm with her, just didn't make me feel as a guy that didn't get to see my dad all the time, like a guy that could play catch with his son. There was something about when I put this hat on, it made me feel like Superman. You made a Superman. That's my favorite superhero. And you made a Superman cape for me.
And when the president doesn't look good, America doesn't look good.
If he don't look good, we don't look good. This is our president. He has to be the freshest, the flyest planes, the best factories, and we have to make our core be empowered. We have to bring jobs into America, and we're putting people in positions to have to do illegal things to end up in the cheapest factory ever, the prison system.
I'll tell you what, that was pretty impressive.
It was pretty impressive, because all we really have is today.
All we really have is today. We just have today, over and over and over again, the eternal return, the hero's journey. And Trump is on his hero's journey right now. And he might not have expected to have a crazy like Kanye West run up and support. But best believe, we are going to make America great.
So just another day in Trump world. This really is a new frontier, full of incredible allies and surreal surprises. After being told it was going to be the apocalypse, we have a booming economy, ridiculously low unemployment, a new justice, no big, ugly wars, progress in trade, and peace is breaking out among the Koreas. And now you have the world's biggest male pop star going to the White House to discuss big issues and getting what seems to be a real concession. You'd think he would receive media acclaim for trying. You'd be wrong.
But if you think you're going to get a thoughtful play-by-play and political analysis, you're not. Because that was an assault on our White House.
That was crazy. That was bonkers.
Such ridicule by those who would never, ever think of taking such risks. They call the event bonkers and crazy. Dog whistles meant to bring up Kanye's mental state. Sorry, Steph, if you used mental illness as a disqualifying factor to express opinion, you'd have no guests on your network. So after today, expect a pile-on. SNL will do a skit that will be much less entertaining than the real thing. And the mean girls at CNN will call him names like they did last night.
And he's an attention whore like the president. He's all of a sudden now the model spokesperson. He's the token Negro of the Trump administration.
Here's some advice. When you're on TV giving a hot take in front of a dwindling audience, I'd hold off on the accusations of attention seeking. But West can handle it. None of this bothers him because he's on a mission. And the risk he's taking, extending an olive branch to someone that the media demands he should condemn, lifts him above and beyond the abysmal groupthink of the entertainment world, especially when he does this.
I love this guy right here. Let me give this guy a hug right here. I love this guy right here.
That's really nice.
Yeah.
Come here. That's really nice. Jim, Kanye, I appreciate it. So let's go have some lunch.
Let's go have some lunch? Why bother? You just ate the Democrats. Hey, Jesse, we were talking about this. There's something actually very powerful. It was just a power. I found it to be very powerful. Yeah, and maybe, I don't know.
It was a very special moment. Just think about the raw talent in that room. Jim Brown, one of the greatest running backs ever. Kanye West, one of the most talented artists of all time. And Donald Trump, talented politician and businessman, all sitting together. And it was a real special moment. You played a really important soundbite, and it was the soundbite where Kanye said this. Because China has stolen all of our factory jobs from the inner cities and from the core of America, it's gotten to the point where young black Americans are now taking risks and doing illegal things to feed their family because they don't have access to good jobs on the streets anymore, and they're getting put in jail. And if you can solve that problem, and if you can get black America buy-in to the America First agenda, to the Made in America agenda, to the trade agenda, to the energy agenda, that's going to have a huge impact on this country where you have people coming together of all stripes, of all all stripes and fighting for a nationalistic, patriotic, economic agenda for this country. It's really special. And the media already framing it as negative. They're saying this was an angry rant. When Taylor Swift or Katy Perry, they do these things, they're called, you know, expressions, soulful expressions, passionate. You know, you don't hear that. So you got to really keep in mind that the media is trying to trick your mind. And I just thought everybody needs to watch the raw of this footage, because it was even more than you played. It was really eye-opening.
Yeah. Juan, there was a moment in there which I think you would have admired, which is he went in there and he complimented Donald Trump, and that he slipped in what he believed was important, that they had to stop stop and frisk in Chicago because it's destructive. And the look on Trump's face was like, okay. And it was like, so he actually, he's getting, I mean, you can laugh at him, you can love him, you can hate him, but he's actually got a concession, I believe, out of Trump just by doing that.
I was going to ask you, what concession? So you think that Trump now is going to back off of the stop and frisk?
I think that Trump has gotten so much out of this, and I think there is a genuine affection between these two men that he will probably get something out of in exchange for something else.
Oh, okay, but I didn't see any major concession on the table because I didn't see any substance. Instead, what I see is a celebrity. And by the way, I don't understand. I mean, I think that the Oval Office should be treated with some respect. And the idea he goes in there and is using such awful language, I don't think that's very cool.
Was Bill Clinton respectful in that?
Let me just say, this is what we heard from Republicans, but now with this, oh, it's okay. But here's the thing about this guy. I just don't understand why it is that, you know, people would think this is about the black community. To the contrary, this is Trump, I think, speaking to his white backers and saying, I'm not a racist.
Oh, come on.
Oh, here's this guy. Here's Kanye West, he's here with me, so
all these
things about me calling people dogs and coming from S-hole countries and don't worry about it. Here's Kanye.
But then you're saying a white person can never change.
Yeah, Kanye sought him out. Trump didn't.
That's what you're saying.
No, I'm not.
If a white person is actually having a conversation with a black leader, your reasoning will be it's always to appease white racists.
Greg, come on. This behavior by Trump didn't start yesterday. It started, remember, he had black people coming in, like Jim Brown, like Steve Harvey, remember this?
Yeah.
And Kanye West, right over there at Trump Tower.
Yes.
And again, what came out of it? Zero.
Nope.
So this is the point. Oh, this is
called progress.
No, this is progress in terms of Trump sign to say, you know what, forget Charlotte, forget all the things that I've done.
Come on.
Oh, I have a black friend, Kanye West.
If Kanye wanted to go to the White House and talk to Trump and Trump said no, he would be labeled racist. If Kanye wants to go to the White House and talk to Trump, he gets labeled racist. The guy can't win.
He is a prop.
You have to give Kanye credit. I don't always agree with him. Sometimes I don't understand what he's saying, to be perfectly frank. But he goes in, he speaks his mind, and he knows, Kanye West knows that he's going to be abused by everybody in Hollywood and everybody in his little bubble out there. They're going to make fun of him. They're going to berate him, and he doesn't care. And frankly, that is inspirational, because in this time, we should be telling everybody, if you have something to say, if you want to go and talk to the president of the United States and have the opportunity to do that, even if you don't agree with him on anything, and you can put policy issues on the table, whether it's stop and frisk or whatever it is, and you can bring, look, we're talking about stop and frisk. That's an accomplishment, because now everybody's talking about it.
Let me just say quickly that I don't think that when you have this guy standing up there and saying, oh, let's do away with the 13th Amendment, which ended slavery in this country, you say, I think something's wrong here.
There was some substance behind that we can't touch on, Dana. But I do think that what you are seeing is somebody who's willing to sacrifice his cool credentials because he believes in it. And the message was, message is not a single negative message in there.
Well, it can be when you're in a position where you have the freedom and the financial security to be able to take a risk and do what you want, and you could be a leader in a different way, right? So I also think that everyone needs to just sleep on this. Wake up in the morning and listen to other people. I mean, Juan feels passionately about it, and I'm sure a lot of people around the country do. And can I go back to stop and frisk for just a moment?
Yeah.
Yesterday, President Trump was at the International Association of Chiefs of Police in Florida, or 2 days ago. He loves the police. He supports the police. He says there's only administration who's been behind you, all that kind of hyperbole. But part of that is trusting the police to do something. Kanye West comes in, I don't like stop and frisk. And Friend's like, okay, you know what? Maybe then the president, because he has the power of convening, Bring the two together, because what's really important is to be able to have the two sides talk. Stop and frisk is not going to stop because police think that is effective unless you have a situation where it goes to court.
Now, I mentioned this about 3 weeks ago, that Colin Kaepernick should go to the White House and meet with Trump. And that was the other thing that Kanye West said, that like his goal is to bring Kaepernick and Trump together. Convening.
Right. And the other thing I did think, if I could just say from just a perspective, is this White House is very television savvy.
Yeah.
But sometimes they set up shots that do not work for them, right? And this one's interesting. President Trump's behind the desk.
Yeah.
Usually when he has a meeting with somebody in the Oval Office, he's with a world leader or somebody, and they're sitting, or like Nikki Haley, she was in the two chairs over there. The president knew this wasn't the exact, he didn't elevate Kanye West to that level, right? He's like, I'm going to sit behind the desk, we're going to have a meeting. And the shot, the way that it's set up, the only people that are really in the shot, you can see President Trump a little bit, the profile of Kanye West, and all the media.
Yeah.
Right. It was actually very interesting to watch it with the sound off, as I did when I was getting hair and makeup done initially, because then you could just see them going, wow, this is the most crazy thing I've ever seen.
Yeah.
But not crazy in a bad way, but just like, it's different. And if I could just add one last thing. We are in a time of extraordinary economic prosperity. This is a time when you can solve problems like the ones that they're talking about. This is where you convene people to be able to talk about this. We're not at each other's throats for certain things.
Yes.
When you have peace and you have prosperity, you can deal with these things.
Might I quote Scott Adams?
Please.
He said, we don't have a money problem, we have an ideas problem.
Yeah.
All right. I had to do that once a show.
He said it better than I did.
Yes.
But drink.
Yes. Everybody gets a drink when I say Scott Adams.